Because this is an off day, we figured why not play a little Is This News Finals edition. Now, if you're new to the show, here's how it works. Trey's rounded up some recent finals headlines. He's going to pitch them to Tass and I, and we're going to determine whether or not they're actually news, because there's a lot of fake news out there. So, Trey, first headline.
Got to watch out for that fake news. But our first headline comes from the Mercury News, a real newspaper, and it reads, "The Warriors' Andrew Bogut is out for the remainder of the series." Is this news?
I do not think this is news regarding this series.
Whoa.
Because I think regardless, Draymond Green was going to start in Game 6 and potentially a Game 7. Just like last year, Bogut's minutes have been decreasing in this series, and in the last 2 games of last year's finals, he didn't play at all. I could see that very well happening regardless of Bogut's injury status in this series, because their best lineups are small lineups.
Right.
They know that. It's time to break the glass in case of emergency for the Golden State Warriors. They can feel that, they can see that. It's time to play Draymond Green a ton, especially coming off 5 days rest. The man can go crazy out there. He can play as many minutes as possible.
Well, not too crazy. Don't go kicking.
Don't go nuts, and he won't. He'll do it within the confines of basketball rules, I'm sure. But this was their starting 5 the last couple games, 4, 5, and 6 last year's postseason. And I think even if Bogut was healthy, this would be your starting 5 for 6 and potentially 7 anyways.
There is some good news to the Andrew Bogut injury, and that's the fact that he's not going to have to get surgery. He's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Of course, that takes him out of the finals here, but that is good news. Unfortunate for the Australian Olympic fans out there, the boomers who are hoping to medal, of course, in Rio. Looks like he won't be playing. He didn't play in London because of a broken ankle. But you're right, Tass. It's a good question. It's like, if Bogut was ready to go in Game 6, would Steve Kerr, like he had done last year in the finals, would he have just gone with the super small lineup right from the get-go? Or would he have given Bogut, and you've talked about it throughout these finals, you know, you didn't mind the idea of give Bogut a couple minutes, see how he's doing, because he played great in Games 1 and 2, and Steve Kerr's talked about that. He's really fallen off, and of course now with the injury, he only scored 6 points in Games 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, and 5. So he's not giving you a whole lot, but he does those little things that don't really show up in the box score. Yeah. Of course, setting the screens, sometimes illegally. Yeah. Obviously a great passer, can still protect the rim, at least changes and alters shots. So I think it's news. He does, it takes one sort of tool out of the toolbox that Steve Kerr has at his disposal, and now he's probably forced to go small. You're right.
Yeah, in Game 5, they went to all the tools. They played 4 centers in the first quarter.
They were all dull.
They were desperate, the tools were dull. This is time for Festus Ezeli to earn that money again. Unfortunately, Festus hasn't played all that well this postseason, going into a year of free agency for him. It's time for him to come off the bench and play well. But as I said, Draymond Green, he can play a bajillion minutes, I feel like, in this game,
If he can stay out of foul trouble, for sure.
Yeah, it's 5 days off. Draymond will be out there, and who will play the backup center? Well, you know, it's up to Festus if he can help be smart and play D and close off the lanes for these Cleveland Cavaliers that are getting into the lane seemingly at will now, especially in Game 5.
Is it up to Festus? Because I wanted to ask you that. I mean, Ezeli started 13 regular season games this year, and he's played 35 minutes in the finals, and he's getting the quick yank from Steve Kerr. At times, I'm a little confused even what he's sort of doing wrong when he's out there, and Steve Kerr goes to someone else right away. I wonder what's going on in Steve Kerr's mind, what he's seeing that I guess I'm not.
Well, I think what you don't get in Festus, what you do get in Andrew Bogut, is the guy who can come out around the elbows, who can really distribute.
Sure.
And that's what you miss with Andrew Bogut, undoubtedly. The guy who gets out there and just is able to dribble handoffs. He's just so good at it. Festus isn't so good at that. And if you combine that with some lackluster D, which we've been seeing with Festus Ezeli, quick hook. I think Draymond Green can do all that and more. You look at the lineup data from this series, it showed us that in Game 5, when Draymond Green is off the floor, they're not that good. Yeah. Beyond Draymond Green at the center, every other lineup isn't all that good. So Green, again, is going to get free will to play as much as possible in this game. I think you just go with him as much as you can, because when he's at center, the Cavs don't have an answer. But when he plays with another center, again, numbers aren't that good, whether it's Bogut or Festus or whoever. And when Draymond Green isn't on the floor, it's not that good whatsoever as well. So that's the lineup.
He's been the key.
It's just, you know, we talk about it. So why doesn't he play it more? Why doesn't Steve Kerr play it more? Because you can't. Because you just can't play that, sustain that. There isn't a sustainability for seven games. But for 2 or 3 games, I think it'll work.
Go with him.